Hi everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to save your post-processing settings. So let's just get started. And this is going to be between scenes. So we're going to do it in this scene, and in the next scene it should have the same settings. What we have to first do is add our post-processing. To add it, we have to go to Windows, Package Manager, go to Unity Registry, go down to post-processing, install it, and then it's going to install the package for you. After that, we're going to create an empty game object. You can name it whatever you want. I just named it post-processing. We're going to add this volume, and we're going to click is global. If you don't want it to be global, you could uncheck it, and then you could set it up wherever you want. And let's see if we can see it. So you can see it says is global, and when you do have it as is global, it will affect the entire scene. If you don't have it as global, what you would have to do is add a box collider or some kind of collider, and whatever is within that collider, it will get affected by the post-processing, as long as your camera is inside that collider. And also make sure that if you do have a collider, that if you don't want it to be global, make sure that collider is checked as is trigger. But we're going to have it as global, that way it's a little easier for us to see it. After that, we could add our effects, but for it to be able to be seen, we do have to have this volume. We have to have a layer, so just add a layer. You could use layer 3, 6, whatever you want. Name it whatever you decide to name it. I'm just going to name it post-process. Make sure this layer is at post-process. Go to your main camera, add a post-process layer, and then right here, just click on the layer that you decided to go with. So if you put post-process, put that. If you put something else like effects, make sure that's checked off. And all you have to have is checked is the post-processing layer. So with all that set up, now you could actually see your effects. So if we go to the game view, we add an effect. We go to Unity, we add the vignette. We go to intensity, and we increase the intensity. You can see it showing. And this is pretty much what we're going to enable and disable. I'll leave the vignette off for now. I'll actually increase the intensity, but I'll leave it off. And let's just get started with the script. So on the script, we are going to go to post-process. We're going to add a script. The one we're going to add for this component, we're going to name it, go under new script, and we'll name it something like, I don't know, you can name it whatever you want, but I'll just name it like change post-processing settings. As I said, you can name it whatever you want. It don't have to be this long name or whatever. And then we'll open it up in Visual Studio. Now for this to work, we're going to have to use a namespace. It's going to be using, let me see if I remember correctly. I think it's Unity Engine.experimental.rendering. I think that's what it's called. And we'll find out in a minute. So we'll just put a public, or you could have it as serialized field if you don't want it to be public. Post, so it isn't experimental, it is, so it should be Unity Engine.rendering.postprocessing. That's the namespace, and then we'll put post-processing process volume, and then we'll just name it whatever you want. I'm gonna put it post-process volume. Then we're gonna have our toggle, so serialized field toggle, and toggle is under Unity Engine.ui. So we'll put vignette toggle and add that namespace, Unity Engine.ui. And then we're gonna add the vignette. So we're just gonna put vignette, and then we'll name it the same thing, vignette. And that should be it. So on the start, I'm actually going to change it to awake, just because that happens before the start function. Depending on your game, you could probably have it on your awake function. And then we're going to put post-processing volume.profile.try get settings. We're going to put out vignette. So this vignette is actually this right here, and we're gonna close it. And then we're gonna put, I'm actually gonna make a function called setup vignette settings. This function, we will create it right now down here. So we'll put void setup vignette settings, and then to be able to save it, we're going to have to use something called player prefs. Is just a way of saving your data. You could also use JSON if you like, but I think player prefs is an easier way, especially when you don't have a lot of data. And we'll put get int, and we'll put vignette. That way it just saves it. This is the name it's gonna save it under. You could even put like vignette settings, and then we'll put is equal. If it's equal to 1, then this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put is vignette. We're gonna put vignette dot active equals true, and then we're gonna put vignette toggle dot is on equals true. So both the toggle and the vignette, the actual vignette on the post processing, will be true. Else they're both going to be equal to false pretty much. So we'll just get both of these, copy it, paste it, and put false. Now we're gonna make a public void, and this is gonna be for toggle, so it could actually change the settings when toggled. We're gonna put toggle vignette. You can name this whatever you think is understandable to you and acceptable to you. And then we're gonna put if vignette toggle is on, and actually we're gonna put a bool right here, or a parameter, which would be a bool, and it's going to be called value. So if it is on, the value is going to be equal to true, and we're going to put vignette.active is going to be equal to the value. And if we're going to put player prefs at the end, dot set it. So right here, this is where we're gonna set it. So you know how right here we have the 1, we're gonna set it right here. So vignette settings is going to be equal to 1. Now just make sure that this right here is the same as this. If it's even one letter off, if it's capitalized incorrectly, it will not work. Then we're going to put else. So if the toggle is not on, we're pretty much going to do the same thing. We're going to set this to false. We're going to put this as 0. And then after that, we're gonna make a function right here just to be able to switch scenes. So actually it's gonna be a public void because we're gonna use that button that I created. I don't even think I mentioned that button, but there's this button right here which says next scene. And this is what's gonna control that button, this function. We're just gonna put next scene. And then for this to work, you could use the namespace up here, but I'm just gonna write it down here. So Unity Engine dot scene management dot scene manager dot load scene, and then right here I'm just gonna put 1. So if you don't want to do all this line of code, what you could also do is just copy this, erase this right here. We're gonna get an error right now. Just go up here, put using, copy that, and it should work perfect. So now let's go back and set everything up. So if we go to our post-processing, we'll just add our volume right here and our toggle down here. Now on our button, which would be pretty much, this is the next scene button. So next scene button, we're gonna go over here and we're gonna drag in our script wherever you have your script located at. So this script right here, we're gonna go down and we're gonna add it right here. We're gonna go where it says no function, change post-processing settings. That would be the name of your script. So if you have a different name, just look for the name that you put and then click on toggle vignette. So if we hit play, it should work. So if I toggle it on, it does not work. Oh, I added it somewhere else. Yeah, sorry about that. So for this next scene button, we're not gonna add that one. We're gonna add next scene. And for the actual toggle, we're gonna on that on value change, it says Boolean, we're gonna add this script as well. And we're gonna add toggle vignette. Now it should work. So if I toggle it, it's on. If I toggle it off, it's off. Just keep on doing that. Now let's leave it on, turn it off, and go back to it, and it should be on again. So it's on. Let's turn it off. Do it again. Just test it. Make sure everything works. And now it's off. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the next scene. Now for that, go to your build settings. Well, actually first you're gonna have to create a scene. So go to scenes, create your scene. I already did. It's called next scene. And you could either drag it in like this, or you could just add open scenes when you're actually in the scene. So let me go to this next scene. Make sure you save. So this next scene, all it's gonna have is this post-processing volume. We're gonna add the volume we created, which is gonna have our vignette, and then make sure the layer is post-processing or whatever layer you named it. Main camera, same thing. Make sure the layer is at post-process. And all we're gonna have to do here is add another script. And this is gonna be called, I mean, you can name it whatever you would like, but we are gonna name it Get Post-Processing Settings. We're gonna open it up in Visual Studios. Let me find it right here. And this is gonna be similar to, we're gonna add a using namespace of using Unity Engine .rendering .postprocess, and all we're gonna need is our await or our start, but I'm gonna use the await because this should really happen before anything else happens. And we're gonna add another serialized field, post process volume, and we're gonna name the same thing, post process volume. Then we're gonna add a vignette, same thing as the script before, and that should be it. Now we're gonna, on our awake, we're gonna put pretty much the same thing, post process volume dot profile dot try get settings, And then we're gonna put out vignette and then set up vignette settings. That's gonna be a function that we create right now as well. So this is kind of similar as the other one, but this is necessary. If not, it won't be able to work. And we can't just copy everything from the first script because it will not work as well. Because we do have to change it a bit, and it's not much that we have to change. All we would have to do is, so the reason that it wouldn't work is because we have this toggle, and in the next scene we're not gonna have a toggle, so we wouldn't really be able to use this script. If not, we would get errors saying that we don't have a toggle, that our toggle is null, that we don't have it assigned to anything. So that's why we're just gonna create this script right here, and we're just gonna put if player prefs dot get int, and this is gonna be the keyword. So this right here, make sure it's spelled correctly. If not, it will not work. And then we're gonna put if it's equal to 1, and actually we don't even need these parentheses. We're just gonna put it right underneath. We're gonna put vignette dot active equals true, else it's going to equal false. So now we're going to go back and we're going to assign it. Also, if you do have it in the same game object as your post process volume, you don't really need to assign it. You could set this to private, and then you could just put post process volume dot or equals get component post process, and I'll probably just show you this like this in this script, that way you could see that it still works. So we'll just leave it as private, so we're not going to get really any field right here to fill out, so there's nothing right here. Now if we go to our save it and we go to our sample scene, our first scene, and we hit play. Now if we just leave it like this and hit next scene, we go to the next scene and nothing happens because the settings were off. But let's actually turn on the setting and go to our next scene. And as you can see, the vignette is on and we are in the next scene. So let's do this again, and it should be on even on this scene. So it's still on. Let's turn it off, go to next scene, and it's off again. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Now if you wanted to add another one, let's say you want to add another effect, maybe the lens distortion, intensity, well, do it like that. I don't know if you would be able to see it in the other one though. Let me remove this and add color grading. Or actually, let me add this one. Chromatic aberration. We'll change the intensity a bit. Well, actually, I don't know if we would be able to see it either. Sorry about that. Let me just add color grading and change the temperature a little bit. So to like a blue. And if you wanted to do the color grading, you would do exactly the same thing. So on the change post processing, we would copy this. Well, actually first we would, right here, would put color grading. Same thing, grading, make a variable for it. Copy this, paste it, color grading. Then on the vignette settings, we're just gonna copy this, paste it. We're gonna put set up color grading settings. Copy this, paste it up here. And then we're gonna put color grading settings. We're gonna put color grading dot active. Same thing down here. The vignette toggle, we're gonna have to make another one for color grading. Unless you want it all to be included in the same toggle, you would have to make another one. Copy this, go down here, is on, equals true, equals false. And we'll course copy this, and we'll put toggle color grading toggle, actually color grading is going to be active. Same with this one, active, and change this vignette settings to color grading settings. Now if we go to get post processing settings, well, we would have to do the same thing. So copy this, paste it, name it color grading settings or whatever you guys want to name it, and copy all this, paste it, and color grading settings. It is really important that you guys get this correct as this right here. If not, it will not work. So, and then for vignette, we actually have to add another one called color grading. I've already seen an error that I already did. At least I don't think I did it. Oh, I did do it. Never mind. We could just copy this since we're here and add it down here and change this to color grading. So now all this should work if I didn't mess up when I was trying to do all that copy and pasting real quick. So let me add another toggle. Just gonna duplicate this one and just call it color grading. That way we see the little difference. Color grading. We're gonna go down here and we're gonna change it to color grading. So toggle color grading, and we're just gonna lower this, that way it's not above that, and we'll change the label to color grading. Now we'll hit play and it should work unless I mess something up. I already messed something up. Let me see. So change. Oh, I did mess something. Wait, no I didn't. Let me see. Yeah. So on the toggle, wait, oh right here. You also have to make sure this is color grading toggle. Dot is on. You know I was gonna mess something up working that quick, but let's see if it works now. Of course, we gotta add it to the inspector. If not, of course, it will not work. So add it to the inspector, hit play. Now if I click it, we get that little color grading image. Same with the vignette. Now on the next scene, I forgot to add the color grading itself, but it does add it because it's the same actual profile. So I just wanted to mention that. So if I hit next, the color grading should still be on. Oh no, actually now it's on. If I go to next scene, it's on. Let me turn on the vignette as well. Still on. They both should be still on. Let me remove color grading, let the vignette on, and it works. And one last thing, let me remove both, see if that still works. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, you could do different things, so you don't have to just enable and disable. You could also do, let's say, like vignette dot color dot override dot and then vignette color, and the way you would be able to get the color that you wanted would be right here. Just change it to color, or you could even add it down here. Color equals vignette color, which is going to equal color dot red. So let's test this out. Now if I hit play, I hit vignette, it's actually turn on the color. I can see that the color is red now. So just make sure that you do enable whatever you do want to change. So if you want to change the center, if you want to change smoothness, roundness, whatever, just make sure it is checked off. And to be on the safe side, make sure you also do it down here as well, just in case it doesn't grab it right away. You could also do it down here. And then for the color grading, you could also do different things. So if you do color grading dot, and you could see everything that you could do. You could change the blue curve, the brightness, color filter, contrast, external LUT, gain, gamma, all that stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys learned something new, if you guys have any questions of how to do a certain thing, just let me know in the comments below and I will be happy to help you guys. Also, if you guys did enjoy this video, did learn something new, please hit that like button. It'll help me out. It'll help me keep motivated. I know there's times that I do get demotivated and don't really want to make videos. So just seeing all those likes, all those subscribers that keep coming in helps me motivate and it helps me keep working on the videos that I do. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell icon if you want to see more videos like this. Once again, thank you guys.